Don't take your anger out on me.
I don't have anger today. I have disappointment today, but I don't have anger.
Surprised
Guess
you didn't
what?
start the show with 4-goal Bob.
I'm sure he will, even though he's not 4-goal Bob because he didn't give up 4
he gave
goals.
him 3 goals, but still.
Guess what?
What?
All the things that I say, I'm still not worried with the Panthers. I'm never worried that a team that won
No. But you were getting sassy. You were getting sassy on Twitter yesterday, calling him 4-goal Bob, even though he wasn't 4-goal Bob yesterday.
You making excuses. At the end of the day,
I'm not making excuses. I'm giving you statistics. He didn't give up 4 goals. If it's an empty netter, it doesn't count against the goalie.
Okay. My bigger thing is, more importantly, is the 2 goals. They've outrun every team they played this year. So that would be more of an issue than Bob.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was. They got bogged down yesterday. They did. Everything that was their identity, and you. I mean, you can not be worried. It's just one game, sure, but we're sitting here, and this is a President's Cup team, a team that was on a historic pace of scoring goals and all of that stuff, and you have this opening night of hockey. It feels like the coronation of the start of a great postseason, and you poop the bed like that, and you give up a lead in the third period. Yeah, it's very disappointing.
It's a 7-game. It's a series.
I'm aware, dude. It doesn't. It doesn't make last night any less disappointing. When you
know why I feel better and not as bad as maybe some Panther fans, because what you used to seeing all year is because of the Boston Celtics.
Why?
Because they couldn't have looked no worse than they did in game 1. And they were a totally different team in game 2. So
yeah, I mean, it's a couple things though. Like the Boston Celtics and the NBA, like NBA has a ton of swings all the time. Like you'll see things go blowout to blowout. I think the thing that's disappointing about the Panthers though is like they have been a team that like they have a troubled past. They have not won a playoff series since 1996.
Yeah, like these guys don't know that.
Doesn't matter. I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about a fan base in angst, dude. Like anybody who's been following along, and everybody who's been talking about, all right, cool. As everything we've been saying about like kind of going ho-hum, great regular season. This has been amazing, but like let's get to the playoffs and let's see you guys do it in the playoffs. And then they go out and this high-powered offense is, pretty pedestrian for game 1. And you cough up a lead in the third period. Yeah, it's gonna. I don't think anybody should be panicking by any means, but it's disappointing.
That kind of has the feel of rats off a ship.
No, it's disappointing, dude. It's okay to be
like it's one game in a series.
But it's okay. But Leroy, I always find this. You and I will always have a divide on this. Like it's okay for fans to be disappointed by the result of a game. Like you don't always have to step back and be like, yeah, but there's another game coming up. All right.
You'll do it all the time with the Heat.
Dude, if that was the show, we wouldn't have a show. Like
But you do it all the time with the Heat.
Not true.
Oh my goodness.
It's not true.
Are you
not a true loss?
Well, sometimes things aren't true losses, but last night was a true loss.
I can't keep up. I cannot keep up.
No, you can't keep up, and that's why you're always running in the mud. And I'm like the road runner.
Hey, when I play football, they call me a mutter.
Well,
could play under any circumstance, any conditions. I'm telling you, seriously.
Okay.
He's a mutter. No matter what the conditions, no matter how bad the track is, he can still run. Partly because I probably wasn't going fast enough to slip, but that's a whole nother conversation.
I didn't want to say that. I mean, I'm not going to talk about anybody's speed.
Hey, hold on. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm not going to take any kind of speed criticism from you.
I mean, how are you going to give yourself speed criticism? You're not going to open yourself up. That seems a little hypocritical.
Okay. I played football with Robert Smith and Eric Metcalf, 2 of the fastest guys to play football.
My guy Met.
Oh, God.
Read the toes. Hit the idea here, Stunt and Steve.
The Ticket is the home of every Miami Heat game. WAXY South Miami and WSFS HD2 Miramar, an Odyssey station.
The headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford, we know trucks. So, as we alluded to at the top of the show, the Panthers, they lose game 1 against the Washington Capitals 4-2 in a game where they did not have that high-powered offense going for them. Got it cranked up a little bit in the third period, getting their shots on goal, getting a lot more even because, I mean, Washington was dominant. Bob was basically getting peppered the entire first 2 periods of this game and really was doing a fantastic job. And Panthers had an ugly turnover. That led to a breakaway goal where he got beat one-on-one. And
they do that a lot. When it seems like every time I watch a hockey game or every time I watch the Panthers, they have 2 or 3 of those a game.
Yep.
And it's like just like being just like you go and then now you looking down on the other end and Bob's in there.
Yeah, Weegs with his hair, take care of the pucks, Weegs.
And you're in front of Ovechkin. Let's not be cute.
I know Ovechkin's back. I'm like, listen, it's tough not to be nervous. You're just like, all right, that's how we're gonna start this thing.
I know, but maybe it's better to have this wake up call first game of the playoffs than when it matters the most. So you lose that first game, and you're like, okay, guys, we got to hunker down a little bit. We got we know what we can do, and everybody just bears down a little bit.
Dude, if they don't hunker, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I would say like. Although I have faith they can win, run off a string of games, sometimes when there's more at stake, you don't have that ability because how good the other team is to just win 4 or 5 straight. So it might be a kind of an ebb and flow kind of thing. But what the playoffs tend to do is the playoffs tend to put a spotlight on your inefficiencies in any sport. And so the crazy turnovers cost them, right? Just the carelessness with the puck. And anytime they didn't score. Like, look, I'm familiar with this, which is why it's one of the first questions anytime we talk hockey is one of the first questions I ask. You know how the game is different in the playoffs. Are they going to be able to sustain this?
Here's the thing,
in the playoffs? Because I played on a team that was just even more prolific than the Panthers were.
Here's the thing, though. Like Colorado, who was basically step with them all year, they win 7-2, game 1, TCB.
Okay, but that's a different conference. You can't work. You're in a different series.
Doesn't matter.
To look at somebody else and say
it is. I do look at somebody else though. Like they were step with them all year as the high powered team in the NHL. Their opening stanza is 7-2. Eat it, Preds. Oh, They stick the Preds in the high chair and they send them. Here comes the airplane.
What if Washington in the Eastern Conference is a lot better than?
I don't care. Go out. You're the President's
It matters though.
You know what you do with the President's Cup? You can throw it in the trash.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Who's gonna have a tougher series? The Heat or the Bucks or the Celtics?
What?
Again, who's going to have a tougher series? I think that series between Boston and Milwaukee is going to be tougher than this one.
Okay.
Right? Okay, but that doesn't mean that the team that wins that is better than the Heat. Why are we comparing series?
Because first round you're supposed to TCB.
Are you?
Yeah, dude, you're supposed to TCB
they
in the
lost
first
last
round.
year.
They never win in the first. They never advance out of the first round.
Oh man,
they love losing game 1 at home a lot.
No, they're so good at home. They've been dominant at home.
It's 4 straight playoffs that they have home ice and they lose.
I know 1. They're like, oh, home ice. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hold on. Can I look? The feel good that this team has given you for 6 months cannot be undone after 1 game.
It's not undone.
But you certainly, man. Wait a minute. You say it's
not. How does any self-respecting Panthers fan not be like, oh? How? Explain it to me. You're that confident?
No, I didn't say that.
How can there not be I'm not saying you have to completely doubt them, but just in a moment of honesty, you're just like, oh boy.
Well, I told you what my questions are. My questions are pretty consistent. They haven't shown me that this style of hockey, right, can carry into the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, if they do, I'm not saying it can't happen because this might be one of those seasons where if you score a bunch of goals, you're going to outrun that style of defense or that style of play. But I have to see it. There's nothing wrong with that because if something's been a certain way through most of the history of that sport, and then you have an anomaly, it's okay to be unsure whether that is going to be the exception to that rule.
Well, I hate that I have to do this, but Florida Panthers.
No, not yet. You can't do it till game day. You're gonna get people all.
I can do whatever I want.
No,
I can do
Give
whatever
us
I
a
want.
give us a day. Give us a day.
No, I can do whatever I want. Nope.
Can you at least wait a couple hours?
Okay, I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna spoil Ozark.
Mute him, J-Fig. Florida Panthers.
Mute him. No.
Don't lose.
Come on.
Don't you lose game 2.
It's
all
not
right.
even 12 hours.
I'll give you one game to get your bleep together.
Clearly you're not.
But let me tell you something right now. Don't you lose game 2. Because if you go down 0-2 and you start putting everybody and you're up against the ropes going on the road, I can't be held responsible for what we're all going to be thinking. So I'm telling you right now.
You're thinking it now.
Don't lose game 2.
Yeah, well, what do we I can't tell you what I'm going to think. We know. We can hear it.
Nope, I'm just telling you right now. Don't you lose. Barkov, all this talk about, you're one of the best players in the league. I want to see it. All right?
I'm telling you.
Don't lose. Huberdeau?
I'm telling you what.
Huberdeau?
These old soft fans.
No, I'm just telling you right now.
Soft.
Jonathan
Don't be
Huberdeau,
soft.
supposed MVP candidate.
Hubie doobie doo.
You better not be Hubie doobie lose. All right? Don't lose. Don't you lose, Huberdeau.
What are you doing?
I'm putting him on notice.
Already?
You know what? You're on notice, Panthers.
He's doing this so he could take all the credit.
No. I want it to be said right now. I've been sitting here spreading cat fever all year. We've been talking about the pandemic. And let me tell you something right now. All this blame goes on my boy Bobrovsky. But where were you boys to score the goals last night? All right? Where were you, Duclair? Huh? You're on notice.
Hey. Steven, this is a perfect case of rats off a ship.
It's not rats off a ship.
You need to go see. Hold on.
Not rats off a ship.
You need to go fill out a prescription of some guts.
It's not rats off a ship. It's the opposite, actually.
Tobin's on the edge of the deck. He hasn't.
No, he's
not rats off the ship. I'm rats on the ship because we're gonna throw those rats on the ice.
You got your toes
out.
out.
What I'm telling them right now is, don't you lose.
Tobin is on the cruise ship.
Nope.
They haven't even got to the ocean yet, and he jumped off.
Here's what happened.
The seas aren't tough yet.
No.
The seas aren't rough.
They haven't left the dock yet.
You're right.
Yeah.
They're not tough yet, but they could be.
It's like a cartoon. He tried to be rats off a ship, and he landed on land.
Okay, we'll see what you say on Thursday if they lose.
Come on.
If they lose on Thursday, I know you're going to be talking about the same thing, and the Tobin was just a day early. But right now, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen because I'm telling the Panthers right now, don't lose game 2.
Dude.
Don't you lose game 2, dude.
What are you doing?
I'm putting them on notice.
Already?
Yup.
After this season?
You cough up 2 goals, you give up the 3 goals, but one was empty netter. That's fake. You give up the lead in the third period. All right. You have this game, you have this high-powered offense, and then all of a sudden you decide, who needs goals?
Hey.
You're on notice.
Got to tell you, I know what that feels like. And I keep telling you that it sucks.
Well, I bet you would have wished that Paul Allen would have said on his radio show going into that, don't you lose to the Falcons.
No. What I wish was that we score more points.
I'm telling him right now, Barkov, supposed superstar, Huberdeau, You gonna be paper champs or real champs? All right.
Wow, you've turned on them already.
I'm not turning. I'm not turning.
Calling them paper champs.
I'm telling them right now.
You don't love Barkey anymore?
Listen. I'm the only one in this town that has the guts to call out Barkov. All this dude. Because here's what it is: when you're a superstar, you get criticism. All right. If Duncan Robinson looks the wrong way, he's not even a star. He gets roasted for it.
Because
guess what?
Look.
Guess what? You're the highest paid player. You wear the C. What does that C stand for? Captain. And you know who takes the?
It doesn't stand for highest paid, jackass. It stands for captain. What does one have to do with the other?
You would give him an FC, a fat cat?
We'll see. We'll see. Just don't lose.
So wait.
I mean, that's what it feels like you're calling him,
Don't
a fat
lose.
cat.
6
Don't lose.
months
Don't lose.
of some
all
of the
comes
best
down to this,
hockey
though.
we've ever seen in South Florida.
Great.
And after one game, you calling people fat cats, you
I
jumping
didn't
off
call
the
anybody
ship.
fat cat. You're putting words in my mouth. You
said it's the symptoms.
That's not what I said.
The symptoms.
Nope, I didn't say that. You're making
You know
things
what?
up.
It's
You're
like
making things
if
up.
they tell you if you have a fever or you have a cough, stay at home.
Listen,
You accusing folks.
I didn't accuse anybody of fat cat syndrome. Now, fraud cat syndrome, that's another thing.
Oh my
Still
goodness.
FC.
You fraud cats?
Did you come up with another name just so?
Well, it's
just
not the
so
same
you
thing.
wouldn't call him fat cat.
I'm not saying that Barkov isn't being to the best of his abilities because he's high paid. But are you fraud cats? You regular season cats? What are we? Are we Thundercats or fraud cats?
After one game,
Yeah, you're right. After one game, you're on notice, Panthers.
hey, dude, I feel like this time of year in sports, whenever I'm with you, I need a pocket defibrillator.
Dude, reap what they
Because your
sow.
heart just could like. Why are you so like?
Yeah, because
You
reap what they sow.
are you either with them or you're not?
I am with them, and that's why I have
Doesn't
to tell
sound like it.
somebody has to sit them down. I have to sit Barkov and Huberdeau down. I would have them in the studio right now and be like, "You boys know, you realize if you lose on Thursday, it's over."
And I'm sure that's what they're thinking.
They should.
Why they
They
don't have
should.
to? They've
'Cause
won
then you're gonna
enough
go-
games to. They've won enough games to say, you know what? Let's go get this.
So you're gonna feel good if they go down 0-2.
No, who would?
All right, so you agree with
I'm
me.
not gonna act like that.
So you agree with me.
You're on notice. That's
I'm not
right.
on notice. I'm not on notice.
You think Capital's radio is like listening in on our show? And they're
Yes.
just hearing you go
Maybe.
off,
Yes.
calling them
Yes.
fraud
They're
cats.
probably laughing at us.
No,
And
they're
if-
laughing
I-
at
if I-
you.
We're
Hold on.
WEI.
If I was listening, what is that? Is that 106.7 The Fan? If I was listening to Tobin right now on the Odyssey app, I would agree. Be like, they're right, frauds. Because
Oh,
we got
that's it.
Ovechkin.
That's
Ovechkin,
it.
been there, done that.
That's
Champion.
it. And that's certainly what we do when we listen into them.
Dude, I'm telling you. I'm telling
Are
you.
you kidding me?
You're on notice,
Dude.
Panthers.
Dude, we have entertained an hour of a show just listening to them.
I put out a poll right now. Are the Panthers on notice? It comes back 95% yes.
No, it doesn't.
Definitely does.
How can I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious. I'm
Mhm.
curious. How can you be this way after one loss?
Because one, we talked all the smack this year about how
You
this is gonna be
did!
different. This is going to be different. All right?
So they made you look like a fool.
That made me look a fool.
How about
They embarrassed me yesterday.
How about you don't go all out, Wile E. Coyote?
That's not how I roll.
You had it's like you got an Acme box delivered,
Dude.
and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get that Road Runner.
Look, it's don't worry about it. I'm not rats off a ship. I just
You
want
are!
No. I
Your
just want the record-
actions. Wait,
I'm
I'm
that's
reading
not
the
what rats
tea
off a
leaves.
ship is.
I'm reading the tea leaves, as you say.
I'm not rats
reading
off
the
a ship.
tea leaves. The tea leaves have you off the boat. You're
We're
jumped.
Listen, we're playing rats off a ship later today. It'll be a question. Florida Panthers, rats off a ship. So we could just put it officially official. But I'm not rats off a ship. That's not how you play the game. There's a difference between being rats off a ship and fair critique. And this is fair critique.
You just hit him with a don't lose.
Wait a minute. Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
that's right.
Hold on. Time
Don't
out.
lose.
Time out. Calm down. It's one game.
Dude, I understand. It's one game, but it's what that one game represents. Here's Bruno, all right, Andrew Burnett, Panthers coach, done a fantastic job this year. Came in, got the position amidst controversy with all the things that went on with Coach Q. Here is him after the game saying, played a solid game, but self-destructed.
Well, I think our execution could be a little better. I thought we were a little sloppy. I don't know if a little bit of nerves played in effect or a little pressure. We didn't handle ourselves completely correctly, and a lot of credit to them. They played a really good road game. They did what they had to do on the road, and we made some mistakes near the end of the game. And I thought actually our third, the first half was pretty solid, and then putting the game away and actually had some chances, and then we kind of self-destructed.
Oof.
By the way,
what?
You know what I call Bruno? He is Panther Steve Fisher.
Okay.
Remember Steve Fisher? The coach took the Arizona State job, and the athletic director, who was Bo, said, "No Michigan man, you need to be a Michigan man to coach Michigan." So they got rid of Bill Frieder. Steve Fisher came in, coached 6 games, won a national championship. So, yeah.
Here's more from Bruno after the game, just saying that, look, tonight was an eye-opener, a good lesson.
I think it's good. I think we had to figure out it's going to be hard, and we haven't had a lot of hard games, and we didn't handle it as well as we'd like to. We weren't as sharp as we wanted to. We lost a little energy, and this is a good eye-opener. This is playoff hockey. And I could talk to them, gluing my face to them until they go through this and remind themselves how hard it was last year and how hard you have to play, and that every puck and every play means something. So that was a good reminder for us tonight, and we're going to have our hands full. Obviously, we knew that coming in, and they let us know tonight.
First of all, it didn't have any hard games. You had like a gazillion comebacks down like 4 goals. What do you mean you didn't have any hard games? You guys put yourself in like the most difficult positions all the time this year.
Can I just say this? There's a difference, and there's a different stake in 1 out of 82 versus 1 out of 4. So when he says we haven't been in a pressure cooker before, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and I don't mean to Amazon Prime it, but that's kind of my point. Like, you're sitting here and saying, no big deal, but that is my point. Like, the reason why it's so frustrating is you have one of those 4 right there in your palm, and they snatched it from you. They just took it right there from you.
But it's again, it's only 1.
It's 1 of 4. It's not 1 of 82, dude.
Right. It's 1 of 4. But will you think they were going to sweep everybody?
If you're a team that's that
does it
good,
matter? Does it matter? Let me ask you. Does it matter when you win the 4? As long as you win 4,
it certainly it doesn't matter. As long as you get the 4, that's cool. But if you have the 1 right there and you end up losing this series, you're going to go back and look at game 1 and you're going to kick yourself. You're going to be like, oh man, we had that series.
Is that what Memphis is going to do?
You keep going back. You like. I don't understand why you keep going back to basketball.
Because
like,
because one
these are different circumstances.
Because one, they're also series, and there's been a number of first games in these playoffs where you thought, oh my God, this is going to be a landslide.
Leroy, okay, but I'm not talking about the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm talking about this Panthers team that has a core of guys that has had fantastic regular seasons now. The last 2 regular seasons. Had the best regular season this season, and they get to the playoffs and they throw up all over themselves. And yeah, I know last year was against the champs, and everybody says, "Oh, it was one of the best series and all." Doesn't matter, dude. 96.
It's one game.
And Beesbrook.
I see it why you may be having flashbacks or whatever.
Of course.
But it's one game. Like, we have the playoffs just started. It's 2 days into the Stanley Cup playoffs, and you're like, woe is me.
No, I'm not woe is me.
Yes, you are.
I'm saying woe is them. Don't lose tomorrow night.
Look, wow.
Don't lose.
How can you?
I'll just put my head in the sand. You know, let's be a bunch of ostriches. Let's just put our head in the sand.
I'm not putting my head in the sand.
Yeah, you are kind of.
But I'm not rats off a ship like you are.
I'm not rats off a ship either.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
When was it like you? So, all right.
Have I said the series is over? No. But am I gonna call it like I see it? The coach did. Coach said they self-destructed. Duh. Coach said they were nervous. Nervous?
No, he didn't say they were nervous.
He said they were nervous, dude. He said it.
You never been nervous?
What's that?
I mean, when you did that Heat game, the Flim doctor was up and at him.
I was nervous for that game.
And the phlegm. You just kept flimming up.
But what did I do? I got through it like a champ.
Not like a champ.
Like a champ, dude.
The MVP was the phlegm.
Nope. That was allowing a goal, and then I rallied and won 4-1.
Okay. So why can't the Panthers
Why do we
that?
keep going basketball and hockey? I don't understand this.
First of all, let's think of it like this. Basketball is a sport that has a lot of ebbs and flows in it. Blow out one game, then lose the next. I mean, after watching the Milwaukee Boston game, it looked like it was going to be 4-0, right? Boston comes back and wins. I'm just saying that because you have recent history to show that, yeah, you'd hate to lose game one, even when you think you have an opportunity.
But my argument to that would be the reason that everybody was saying Milwaukee was going to get steamrolled in that series, and my argument to that, the fallout, when you're comparing that would be, well, Milwaukee has championship experience, and so they're going to be able to handle some adversity to go get that one game on the road. With the Panthers, they don't have that. They don't have any of that to fall back on.
The great thing about this is that it's a 7-game series, so you can learn on the fly.
And they put up that graphic last night of all the guys on the Panthers who have been to the Cup and have had experience in that. I'm talking about the core guys who have been here.
Right.
Those guys.
I got
those guys.
The guys you're going to depend on the most.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy that you called a fraud cat.
I didn't call him a fraud cat, but tell me what that C is going to stand for if you lose game 2. Choke.
Catch up.
What?
They're going to have to catch up. That's what the C stands for. Come back. Come back. What's wrong with for a guy who is so enthusiastic about South Florida sports.
Yep.
You have come out, and this is not. I got to tell you, I don't like this, Tobin. I don't like this.
What Tobin?
I don't like this. You've been one of the most positive guys. You've been one of the most positive.
I am positive.
Look, you got on me for talking about 4th and 1 against Bethune-Cookman. Stuff like that.
Oh,
right?
Stupid.
Not stupid.
It was stupid.
Okay, but
60-0 game.
For you to be rats off a ship this quick.
Not rats off. Listen, if you say it one more time, I'm going to come through the screen and I'm going to rip your headphones off your head. I have not been rats off a ship. I'm not rats off a ship. I'm calling them out.
I don't put my friends on notice.
Oh, sorry. You're not a good friend then. You just
really
look at me. I'm Leroy. I turn a blind eye. Oh, are there problems happening here? I don't know. He seems like a good guy. Barky. I'll tell you one thing right now, Barkov. Better not see you at that Heat game tonight.
Rats off a ship.
You're going to watch that game? You watch it from your couch with some film.
What is film going to do?
Don't know, but he better not be at that Heat game tonight.
See, that's the thing about it. That like when in any sport, when a player loses or a team loses, right? Fans expect them to just go right to the facility and watch film.
That's right.
Like it ain't got nothing to do with film.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with film.
Would anyone even notice Barky at the game?
No.
He got kneed in the face that one time.
Dwayne Wade kneed him right in the face, and nobody knew who he was. That's not the point here, though. You want to know why nobody knows who he is? Because he can't get out of the damn first round.
Because he plays hockey in Florida?
Yeah, and you want to know what keeps happening with hockey in Florida? They keep losing in the first round.
But it's only been one game. Can we?
For now, it's only one game, dude. But you want to know something? You're down 0-1. So don't lose. Even Steven this thing up, and then we'll be back. We'll be back and feeling better about ourselves. But if you go down 0-2, if you go down 0-2, I can't be held responsible for what happens on Friday.
Tobin has scribbled himself in to a guy in this situation that can't lose, right? So if they lose, he can just go even harder in the paint.
That's not true.
But if they win, he can say he was the reason why.
I don't want to go harder in the paint. I'd be disappointed if I have to.
You can't.
But I have to do what I have to do.
In an argument, you cannot lose. You have backed yourself into the perfect parking spot.
Well,
you can go left. You could go right. Right?
Just don't lose.
No. It angers me.
Sorry.
It angers me that you can just go off at the mouth, and no matter what happens, you have an escape clause.
I don't have an escape clause.
You do.
I've drawn a line in the sand and said to the Panthers, don't lose game 2. Because if you lose game 2.
They play 82 games.
Yeah,
they've earned nothing with you.
Game 1 comes after game 2. No. Actually, you want to know something?
They've earned nothing with you?
No, they have. Actually, no, they haven't. No, they haven't.
You certainly were over enthusiastic about the President's Cup, though.
I was happy about it. Actually, I wasn't that enthusiastic about it. Did I sit here and give the president's speech? No. Because you want to know something? I don't care about that trophy. It's a doorstop to me.
Possible.
I want Lord Stanley. All right. This is a monarchy, not a democracy. You're taking disappointment in a result and what I think is going to happen and making them two different things. You are. It's silly.
Well,
and
I'm saying my question is, do you still think the Panthers are going to win the series?
Yeah, cats and 5.
So why are you so worked up over one loss?
Disappointed. I wanted them to get off to a good start. Instead, they got into a gut punch. Like, I didn't want that last night.
Maybe it was a wake-up call.
That's what the coach says. But here's the thing. Sometimes it's a wake-up call, and sometimes you just hit the snooze button. So what did they do? Why did you recoil in disgust? You ever hit the snooze button, dude, but then you just keep hitting it too much, and you always think there's going to be enough time?
You ready for this?
What?
I have never hit snooze in my life.
That's a lie.
I promise you.
Well, you've overslept.
Yeah, that wasn't hitting snooze.
You sure?
I love a snooze button.
I've never hit snooze. Because think about this, dummies. You literally have to get up to hit snooze.
Oh, not me, dude. I don't.
I sometimes sleep through the snooze.
I almost have like a reaction to snooze. Because on the iPhone, it's so easy. It's just like.
So you keep your phone by your bed?
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I set my alarm and put my phone in another room, so I got to go get it.
But why?
So I get up.
Such an old person thing. My dad does the same thing.
Oh, really?
Hey, man.
What?
My dad keeps his phone downstairs, so he has to get up.
I would argue the 8 minutes of snooze are the best sleep.
Isn't it called a wake-up call?
No, a wake-up call is different. A wake-up call is when you are at a hotel and they go, hey, get up.
They don't do that no more.
They don't?
You said it yourself. They don't call you.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've never, I don't remember the last time I've actually used, hey, this is your wake-up call. And I'll tell you something.
You got an iPhone, dummy.
I'll tell you something. Hotel sleep's weird. Hotel sleep, I'll be like, wait, I don't know where I am. I have very odd dreams in a hotel.
You don't know what time zone you're in.
Sometimes I don't.
It
messes with me.
You know what's amazing? You ever notice when you sleep in a hotel, the sun is always the brightest when it's coming through that window? When I'm at home, sun never comes into my house like that.
Because I love blackout curtains. Love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
You know where they have the blackout curtains in Vegas. Goodness.
And I'll tell you one thing. Maybe it is a wake-up call. Or maybe they just hit the snooze, dude. And you know what they say?
You going with that again?
Yeah, but you know what they say?
I'm scared.
Stun Steve, you know what they say?
Just say it.
J-Fig, you want to know what they say? She's going to be so mad at me.
Don't bother her.
Oh, come on, J-Fig. You don't want to know what they say?
Wow. She made the screens go like she was about to come on, and then she said no.
Fine. She doesn't want to know, but I'll tell Stun Steve because Stun Steve wants to know. You snooze, you lose.
Oh,
so obvious.
That's terrible.
-1.
That's so bad.
You snooze, you lose, dude.
I love how Leroy was genuinely didn't know.
What do they say? You snooze, you lose.